away. In the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day ship will come in, and the tide's gonna turn, and it's all gonna roll you away. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's no taking and no giving, they just use your mind, and you never get the credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5, yeah, they got you right there, want you. There's a better life, and you think that it's a rich man's game. No matter how they call it, and you spend your life, but money in this moment. 9 to 5, yeah, they got you right there, want you. There's a better life, and you think that it's a rich man's game. No matter how they call it, and you spend your life, but money in this moment. I requested this one. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister next, shine the light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll open up the blindness. Narrow-minded people, narrow-minded streets. So welcome on this bright, wonderful morning. I think it's going to warm up. We're seeing things melt. We were just talking right before service. I think I enjoyed the quiet and the stillness. It was kind of like, okay, we have all this wonderful excuse just to be. But then on Friday I got out. Believe it or not, some of y'all know Reverend Mother Colleen Brown. She drove all the way over from Jacksonville. We went out to lunch. The parking lots were filled. You could just tell people were sick. As Verlaine said, we had enough. We were ready to get out. And we are getting ready for spring, and it's sort of, that's coming. March is just almost here. It's going to happen. So I'm glad that you're here today. We've been seeking moments of clarity this month. I've been loving the way our theme's built, the power of thought, moments of clarity. In March, we're going to go into living the intentional life. It's been very a different take for me. I love working with the 12 powers of unity and our unity teachings, but these themes have just opened up some new pathways for me, and I hope for you. We're gonna say so I welcome you to this community. I love it when I see us gathering. I think we're building a community that has some diversity. I really do. I'm loving what's happening before us. Yes. And it's just, isn't it good to get up and find a place where you belong and no questions asked? That's what we are here at Unity. It's a place for you. Right here, right now, you're in the perfect place, perfect timing. And Pam has talked about she is wanting to find a t-shirt with this on it, and let's just wear it loud and proud. We are unapologetically inclusive.
I wish I could have been wearing it when I made the national news.
Yeah, that would have been great. But that's a wonderful thing. We are unapologetically inclusive. So we're going to light the Christ candle, and I'm going to do this a little bit different. I know we've been reading things. I'm going to light the candle, but I'm putting Chris on the spot. I'm going to ask Chris to come up here for a minute. And I'll light the candle. So Chris, what does it mean to think of the light of Christ in you.
Good morning, it's on.
And we don't need a sermon here, but you know.
You gave me the microphone. It's on you. It's to have the light glowing inside yourself that's not a light, and it's not limited to inside yourself. It's much deeper and more silent and more still. To me, it's like the space around and inside where everything exists and is happening, including this. We'll call it a body. There's thoughts and emotions too. But all of this is happening within the stillness within, which is beautifully illustrated by the light of the candle, the Christ light. So the Christ light to me is a kind of clarity. Are you good?
That's good. Now wait, I'm going to give you to do one more thing. Would you lead us in the opening statement, please? Together.
There is only
One presence and
one power
active in my life and in the universe.
God the good,
the omnipotent. Thank you. That was wonderful. That was so heartfelt. I knew you would be wonderful at that. Thank you. So, our next unity thing is our daily word. It is wisdom today, and Lorraine is going to share that with us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, wisdom. Wisdom guides my words and actions. When I have felt torn, trying to decide which way to go or how to handle a trying situation, I may have asked in prayer for insight and guidance. As I have grown spiritually, I have come to realize that any insight and guidance I could need are within me, aspects of my divine inheritance. Divine wisdom is my ability to intuit, to sense, and discern my best choice. I pay attention, we can pray for attention, but I pay attention to my hunches, flashes of inspiration, and whispers of guidance I feel in quiet moments. I believe they are divinely inspired, even if they surprise me. In confidence and with gratitude, I move in the direction of my highest good, trusting in my innate wisdom. And from Isaiah 30:21, and when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left, your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it.
Thank you. Okay, whoops. Take that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Y'all are an appreciative crowd today.
We have wisdom.
We have wisdom. We have wisdom. And then let's have a moment of prayer. You know, in Unity, we have affirmative prayer. We're not begging, we're claiming. So let's take that moment right now. We breathe and we open our minds and hearts to receive. I'm still feeling the kindness that Ashley sang about. feeling that kindness in this room, this community. I love it. As we open our minds to just be curious and to wonder, and in our hearts, what are we longing for? What is going on in our lives? I'm going to ask some questions. Maybe, does it appear that this world is turned a little askew or upside down with stress and some trauma? Do you worry about the way things might be settling? Do you long to see creativity, kindness, wisdom, compassion, generosity actually showing up in ourselves, in our leaders, in our world, a way to shape our future? Do you wonder? God is life, love, wisdom, strength, and divine order. And we claim life, wisdom, love, strength, and order. We show up, and with divine strength, we bring the creativity, kindness, and wisdom, and compassion, and generosity. We bring that in the world because it lives in our hearts, in our divine center. I see the present time with clear eyes, with clarity and calm thoughts, understanding what is happening, even though I don't like it all the time. I'm a part of this world. I matter. And no matter how things unfold, my voice matters. I speak from my divine center about what is important to me. With love and power and gentleness, I speak. In the places where I make decisions, I use I use wisdom, the daily word. I use my decisions to create a world that has the values that are important to me. Every moment is an opportunity to create. I appreciate this community for its support and its teachings that inspire me to do what is mine to do. I am grateful for the opportunities of loving friendships as I give and receive in this community. And I close this prayer with probably one of my favorite scriptures. And when I hear it, it just melts me. Do not be anxious. Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to your lifespan? And why are you anxious about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you? Oh, ye of little faith. Therefore, do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat? What shall we drink? What shall we wear? For the Gentiles seek after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them all. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. And so it is. And so it is. So, moments of clarity beyond anxiety. You know, anxiety just shakes it up, kind of like the snow globe, you know. And that I brought in the first of the month. And by the way, we have a few left in case you want one. Anyway, what's your level of anxiety these days, huh? For me, I'm riding a roller coaster. I'll get a moment of anxiety, and then I go, okay. Then, just so. And it seems like an endless loop, my goodness. Combine the fundamental anxiety of just being human, just that alone, with finances, time demands, all these other expectations, and then added on 2025 has been a very eventful year. And just, and we're just now finishing up 2 months, my goodness. So the outer situation is indeed stressful. Now, what has this got to do with clarity? Okay, so anxiety kind of prevents me from having that clarity. There's confusion, there's chaos. I just feel jittery, jittery Jeannie. But I don't want to be that. Whew, take a breath. And anxiety just compromises my clarity in thought and action. Now,
Hey, Jeannie.
actually, since we're laughing, okay, when I think about this song, when I think about anxiety, listen to this. I love this song, okay. It's not very long, but it's funny. Anxiety.
Whenever you're near, high anxiety
I love the way he says that.
that I feel. My heart's afraid to fly. It's crashed before. But then you take my hand, my heart starts to soar once more. High anxiety, it's always the same. Anxiety, it's you that I blame. It's very clear to me, I've got to give in. My anxiety, you win. Hiya, Tex, where you from?
Cincinnati.
Great town, love that big red machine. He's up under Linguini. Hello, young lovers, whoever you are. What do I spy, a little grain of rice? Newly married?
This morning.
This morning, folks, and they said it wouldn't last. But then you take my hand, my heart starts to soar once more. Key change, high anxiety, it's always the same. Hey, anxiety, it's you that I blame. It's very clear to me, I've got to give in. My anxiety. And remember, folks, be good to your parents. They've been good to you. You win.
Okay, so he played Dr. Thorndike, and it was a parody on Hitchcock movies and psychoanalysis, and so he ran an institute, and yet he had high anxiety, and there was other funny things, but anyway, but that song, High Anxiety, always comes up to me, so I love it. Well, also, to be a little more serious, I've found this book. It's brand new, and I love Martha Beck. She's been around a long time. She's a sociologist, a life coach, a speaker, an author. She worked with Oprah quite a bit. And her new book is Beyond Anxiety, Curiosity, Creativity, and Finding Your Life's Purpose. So I'll be mentioning a little bit on that. And let's see, what's next? So in this book, she suggests that anxiety is just really a natural response to life. It is. We just can't help it. And I mean, we're wired, if we face something we think is unfamiliar and dangerous, so we start off with that little bit of fear kicks in, and then we're off to the races sometimes. But she introduces the idea that anxiety maybe is a messenger rather than an enemy. And she explains that, okay, society does perpetuate it, but we can live with joy and optimism, and we can shift our neural activity and our brain structure to wonder, connection, compassion, and joy. And so there's 3 foundational things she makes about anxiety. We're all taught to unconsciously activate an anxiety spiral in our brains. And we keep this spiral spinning and accelerating without maybe even the awareness that we're doing it, because we feed it with stories and thoughts and beliefs and all of that. It's kind of like, and in fact, once you're off to the races, it's kind of like going out of the parking lot. You know, they have those spikes, and once you go forward, you can't go backward. It can be that way. And then, of course, and here's where it feeds on itself. Society makes us more anxious, and then we make society more anxious. So, it just kind of feeds that way. And it can't just be ended. It must be replaced. You can't just have the vacuum. To live with joy and optimism instead of constant worry, we don't just need to subtract troubles. We need to use our brain differently. And so she has a lot of practices, and I'm just going to hit on highlights as I go through this. But I did want you, I had a lot of humor when I think of anxiety. And I know y'all know this sketch, but I watched it again. And if you haven't seen it, it's really fabulous. So look, here's a way to deal with anxiety. Bob Newhart style.
Dr. Switzer?
Yes, come in. I'm just washing my hands.
I'm Catherine Bigman. Janet Carlisle referred me.
Oh, yes. You're being buried alive in a box.
Yes, that's me. Should I lay down?
Oh, no, we don't do that anymore. Just have a seat. And let me tell you a bit about our billing. I charge $5 for the first 5 minutes, and then absolutely nothing after that. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Too good to be true, as a matter of fact.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that our session won't last the full 5 minutes. Now, we don't do any insurance billing, so you would either have to pay in cash or by check.
Wow, okay.
And I don't make change.
All right.
And go.
Go.
Well, tell
What?
me about the problem that you wish to address.
Oh, okay. Well, I have this fear of being buried alive in a box. I start thinking about being buried alive, and I begin to panic.
Has anyone ever tried to bury you alive in a box?
No, but truly thinking about it does make my life horrible. I mean, I can't go through tunnels or be in an elevator or in a house, anything boxy.
So what you're saying is you're claustrophobic.
Yes, that's it.
All right, well, let's go, Catherine. I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
Well, shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember them.
Okay,
You ready?
yes.
Okay, here they are. Stop it!
I'm sorry?
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
So what are you saying?
You know, it's funny. I say two simple words, and I cannot tell you the amount of people who say exactly the same thing you're saying. I mean, this is not Yiddish, Catherine. This is English. Stop it.
So I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening.
Yes.
Then stop it.
I can't. I mean, it's been with me since childhood.
No, we don't go there. Just stop.
So I should just stop being afraid of being buried alive in a box.
You got it. Good girl. Well, it's only been 3 minutes, so that will be $3.
Actually, I only have a 5, so
Well, I don't make change.
then I guess I'll take the full 5 minutes.
Fine. All right. Well, what other problems would you like to address?
I'm bulimic. I stick my fingers down my throat.
Stop it! None of some kind? Don't do that.
But I'm compelled to. My mom used to call me fatty.
No, we don't go there.
But I've been having this dream.
No, we don't go there either.
But my horoscope did say...
We definitely don't go there. Just stop it. What else?
Well, I have self-destructive relationships with men.
Stop it! You want to be with a man, don't you?
Yes.
Well, then stop it. Don't be such a big baby.
I wash my hands a lot.
That's all right.
It is?
I wash my hands all the time. There's a lot of germs out there. Yeah, don't worry about that one.
I'm afraid to drive.
Well, stop it! How are you going to get around? Get in the car and drive, you kook.
Stop it! Stop it! You stop it!
What's the problem, Catherine?
I don't like this. I don't like this therapy at all. You're just telling me to stop it.
And you don't like that?
No, I don't.
So you think we're moving too fast? Is that it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, then let me give you 10 words that I think will clear everything up for you. You want to get a pad and a pencil for this one?
All right.
Are you ready? All right, here are the 10 words. Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box!
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right, well, we saw an anxiety spiral. I don't think I'm, in a way, stop it, but you see, you've got to replace it with something, but, anyway, y'all get the point. But that's just really one of my favorites of his. But see, anxiety isn't fear. See, true fear just snaps us into action, gives us kind of a mental clarity and a physical energy, like, lifting some heavy object off of a person if there's an emergency or if any kind of emergency that we have to deal with, and we're required to deal with a threat. But as soon as safety is re-established, we should relax again, and that's what animals do. Animals respond to danger, but they don't just stay in it. And anxiety, on the other hand, is more like being haunted. Like she was haunted by being buried in the box. It pulls our attention inward to worrisome thoughts and fantasies. Unlike fear, it just is never going to relent. So there's the spiral of anxiety, just goes and goes and goes and goes. And so how do we go from fear to anxiety? So there's a thing in our brain, the amygdala, the center of our brain, and it sends out a warning, a yelp or some sort of yell that reaches our emotional generating brain layers and also the logical verbal parts of our brain. Now, but see, animals only have the emotional probably reaction, but we humans can tell stories and have memories and have triggers. And she was going back, and definitely her mother probably, helped generate that bulimic reaction, for example. I mean, I'm not trying to dismiss that, but you see, part of it is that we are human, that we can create these spirals. So most of this happens on the left side of our brain, and coming up with explanations and figuring out how to manage and control it, that's what this left brain does. And our strategies might even turn out to be downright bizarre and over the top, and there just gets to be this endless feedback loop. So the anxiety spiral starts in individuals, but it can really spread to groups because there's stories. We know it. There's the internet. There's the social media, the conspiracy theories. So it starts in one, and then it can really build and grow. And collective fantasies shape the way we interact with our families and our institutions and everything. And we're kind of seeing that play out a lot right now. So when we operate from anxiety, family members may try to micromanage their loved ones. Conspiracy theorists may goad one another into higher and higher levels of paranoia. People on either side of the political issues frantically try to control one another or have the power. We become louder and more insulting, and it just, wow. Oh, stop it. Stop it. So the negative bias is actually our hair trigger tendency to see danger everywhere. And some people, I read this statement in Beck's book, we feel safe by never feeling safe, by always looking for danger. Some people, you can do that. And I, on the other hand, am sometimes too naive and don't look enough for it. I've got to admit that. But there's kind of two ends to that spectrum. And so then but we think our anxious world is complete and perfect because the left hemisphere, if it's in control, it believes that anything beyond its own perceptions are real. And as a result, we often get stuck in a hall of mirrors. Yeah. So we're just seeing the same information, and we're explaining, we're justifying, we're kind of stuck there. And research shows that the belief in the disproven idea actually grows stronger. Confronted by new information, the left side of the brain doesn't open up. It sees the evidence not as valuable information, but as a threat to its status quo, its truth. No, the truth. It thinks it's got the truth. Logical evidence that it's incorrect just puts the anxiety spiral, on rocket fuel. Okay. Well, that sounds a little hopeless, doesn't it? But you know what? Understanding some of this neurological stuff I said, oh, okay, because sometimes aren't you talking to somebody and you just get frustrated? Why can't they see this? I don't understand. But if we go, okay, yeah. So what's the alternative? So we want to step away from anxiety and begin using both sides of our brain, the right side as well. We want to get into a creativity spiral. And just like the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere can form its own spiraling feedback system from the inner almond to the upper layers of the brain. I've got a picture of the amygdala because the amygdala is just, it's small, kind of almond shape in the center of the brain. And the pattern is the mirror image of the anxiety spiral. But in the right hemisphere, the effects of the spiral are about as far away as you can get from anxiety. Where the brain's left side spiral sparks fear and makes us want to control things, the right side sparks curiosity and makes us want to create things. The anxiety spiral blocks out information from the right hemisphere, but by contrast, the right hemisphere is able to take it all in. It lets there be a data flow. It uses the left brain's insights to create items that are useful, satisfying, maybe even exciting and expressive. So we need to work together. We don't need to be just right brain. Now, I don't know if y'all have read Jill Bolte Taylor about her, a neuroscientist who had a stroke in her 30s. And she watched herself. She just watched as her left brain shut down. And somehow she got to the hospital and her left brain was shut down and she totally lived from her right brain. And she said it was euphoric. It's a wonderful read. I know it starts off My Insights. And she's also... Say again?
Isn't it Stroke of Insight?
Stroke of Insight. And then she's got another book. It's not brand new, but it's Whole Brain Living. And I don't see, my left brain loves learning new information, but my right brain loves integrating it all. And so this has been kind of fun for me to look at all of these things. So at any rate, we can feel the euphoria. We feel a flow when we're dealing with the right brain. We feel heightened curiosity and a desire for more experience, leading to more investigation and more invention and more creativity. So see, that's a spiral too. That keeps on going. So from Beck's work, she summarizes, we're living in a culture that's heavily based on left brain kind of thinking and behaving. And the way our culture goes about trying to reduce anxiety also can tend to be left brain dominated. But there's a better way to deal with anxiety, and one that moves us from our left hemisphere dominated culture to balancing out the brain. So, see, there's a picture of that amygdala. Now in fact, Beck published a workbook that goes along with this book. She has so many practices and exercises. But one of them that I really liked was you can do amygdala whispering. You know how with animals you can be the dog whisperer or the horse whisperer? Well, you can be your own amygdala whisperer. And in a way, we Unitics kind of understand this process. But what she does is she says, create a little anxiety creature in your head. Or it's kind of like our inner child. That's some little part of you. And we're going to be kind to this creature. And we're going to notice it, first of all. Oh, anxiety, I see you. I see you. And then we're going to just sigh. Because y'all know what taking a deep breath does for us. And we're going to soften the eye focus. And we're going to move a little. In other words, we can't just say, be calm, stay still. Yeah. No, you're already kind of jittery, right? So we're going to allow it to move a little bit. We're not going to try to constrict it. Another one I remember my sister did this to my son. He was having a moment, and she tried to hug him and hold him. Oh my God, did that make it worse? Sometimes maybe a little light touch, but to constrict people when they're in this spiral may not work. Yeah. And anyway, accept that you feel the way you feel. Okay, I'm anxious. Okay, I see you. We're anxious. And then make soothing sounds. You can hum or have a chant or maybe say an affirmation. Make soothing sounds with a soft, soothing voice, you know? And then offer yourself kind internal self-talk. So there really is a way to whisper to that amygdala and get him to calm. And that's the first thing. With anxiety, we can't just jump to curiosity and creativity.
Right.
We can't just stop it.
Uh-huh.
We've got to be calm.
I like to say, this is fine.
Yeah,
You know, whatever is going on, this is fine.
yeah, yeah.
This is fine. This is fine.
And-
It's like that dog in that,
And the
that
burning
meme.
dumpster. That's exactly what came to mind.
So what is this?
There's a meme where there's a dog that's inside of a house and the house is on fire.
Uh-huh.
The dog is just sitting at the table and he's going, this is fine. Which is like a joke because it's like the
The house is burning now.
The house is burning. But it's almost like that's reality too.
Well, it is. We feel like the world's on fire a little
Yeah.
bit, don't we?
Yeah, it feels like the house is burning down.
Yeah.
But if you say to yourself, oh, this is fine, suddenly, you know, the reality, you know, my house actually isn't burning down.
It could be, it could be. I'm not in a box. Yeah, you know. Exactly, exactly. So, let me back to that one just a little bit. So, you know, we've got a vagus nerve, and so polyvagal theorists call them neuroceptions, and Beck calls them spidey sense. These sensitive perceivers rev up the defense cascade when they notice anything that could possibly represent danger. Then, when safety has been reestablished, they slow down our defenses and return us to peace. So we really can come back to it. We don't have to choose the anxiety spiral. This slowing down involves something called the vagal brake, which, like the brakes in a car, lowers our heart rate and other fear reactions. The anxiety braking system, it does rely on the right hemisphere, which sends an all clear signal down the right side branch of the polyvagal circuit to the heart. And if you get stuck in an anxiety spiral, however, if you go there, spinning around in your left hemisphere hall of mirrors, you can't activate that system. Your anxiety brakes literally fail, and you may go on hurting and self-destructive patterns as it goes on. So there's that moment where we kind of have a choice. Oh, there's so much to share in this book. Clearly, this right brain is very important. And with the right brain, we amp up the creativity. And like I said, when I start understanding all these nuances to the neural activity, I mean, for me, it gives me, I'm trying to figure out, I guess it does satisfy my left brain idea. It's something I can do, but in other words, I'm not acting impulsively. This is just part of our neurobiology. It just is part of it. So we come to the idea of creativity. And we've always known that anxiety can shut down creativity, but what if creativity shuts down anxiety? I like that. And Deepak, yeah, that's really good to think about. And Deepak Chopra, the best use of imagination is creativity, and the worst use is anxiety. Because imagination plays a role in both. And when we're spinning the stories, my goodness, we are in that anxiety stuff. So here's some contrast. Creativity is, she says, the opposite of anxiety. Anxiety pulls us away from the world. Creativity pulls us into it. Anxiety inhibits learning, but creativity motivates more learning. Anxiety shows us only part of the world or half the world. And then with creativity, we get a much bigger picture. and anxiety spiral, it just makes our lives, can make our lives smaller. Whereas we get expansion from creativity. And I know you all know this really. It's, yeah.
Yeah, but it's really good to hear.
It's good.
I don't know if you realize how on point this is for me. I had about 2 hours of sleep last night
Oh.
because of anxiety.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is nailing on that for me.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
to me earlier, and I
So-
wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. When you were talking about animals,
Yes.
animals live in the moment and respond to changes in their environment. Humans create anxiety for themselves by not staying in the present moment and allowing our brain to run the show. The difference is operating from your head and not your heart, left versus right brain. This was before you even got to it.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been feeling that.
Okay. Well, here you go.
Confirmation.
But, you know, this isn't to say that we don't need our left brain, too. That's important. And creativity is not the only antidote to anxiety. The calming skills, and again, I'm going to emphasize that, you got to calm first. When Beck asked Jill Bolte Taylor whether the right hemisphere can feel anxiety, she said no. It kind of relates to what you said. No, because anxiety is always about the future, or the past, perhaps. No time, no future, no anxiety. She's still a scientist and an educator. You know, she was able to regain her left brain function, and she is, you know, she's writing more, she's definitely doing the science, but with a new perspective, and she still remains a sculptor, a songwriter, and a painter. So she has now balanced her artistic pursuits with her all of her left brain scientific activity. But I swear to you, science and mathematics, y'all, you think it's only left brain, and it's not. I won't go there, but mathematics is just beautiful and aesthetic. So, and it's right brain for sure.
Jeannie,
Yes.
Jill Bolte Taylor, when she had the stroke, wasn't even able to dial a phone number for help.
Right.
That's how completely out of touch with the left brain she was, and how completely we need it just for simple functioning.
Thank you for adding that. It is, yes, indeed. So, curiosity is a precursor to creativity. So, oh, here's one. She said the best question you can ask is, And I've done that before, have you? Or, you know, maybe, I wonder, what if? And then there's the adjacent possible. You know, we get stuck in our little world of what we know, but out, you know, remember we live in a vast universe, and get to your edge and be at the adjacent possible. So, now there are, though, two kinds of curiosity. There's a deprivation curiosity, and that's a worried need to know that stems from lacking information to feel safe. And I've seen that kind of curiosity. And then interest curiosity, though, comes from a sense of just wanting to know, the way children want to know why the sky is blue, or what happens if I put crayons into the toaster. And just, it's just, you know, believe me, I've watched Aaron, I think I'll try this. So it's about wondering, and not, so see, it doesn't come from a place of lack. It comes from a place of, we're in an abundant universe, I wonder what I can learn. And once you begin turning on your interest, curiosity, you tend to open a secret doorway between worry and wonder. And you'll find that that doorway starts opening up more smoothly. When our curiosity is restored to its rightful place, we stop wondering, why me? Why is this happening to me? Instead, we start saying, I wonder why this is happening to me. You know, and then we really kind of go, you know, instead of, the other one is looking to blame and judge, and this is looking to understand. It's just a little bit different orientation. So, we aren't just defeating anxiety, we're making meaning out of our experiences, even the painful ones. The beautiful minds of all great thinkers are so curious that they fix upon bewildering problems almost to entertain themselves. Their way of living turns anxiety into a catalyst for creativity. It actually repurposes the energy of worrying. Yeah, because you might start from a worry, but then if you get curious, it's a different story. Now, she mentions, I love this, Byron Katie's work, and I know Chris loves this. We can choose wonder over worry. And the work has 4 simple questions. I know I've heard Roger talk about this too. You state something that's worrying you, or whatever a problem is. Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? How do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? And Beck would say, and part of that question is you're looking for your body sensations. How does this live inside of you? What's alive in you? And then who would you be without that thought? And Byron Katie's written so much on this, and people just love her work. And I sometimes forget to go into it, but it's just 4 questions. Oh my goodness. And so what's the turnaround?
The turnaround is when you say something that sounds
Oh, yes.
opposite of what your initial thought was, but now you've busted yourself on the fact that was a true thought.
Okay.
And now you generally, when you get to that point, you can see that the opposite is as true or truer.
At least as true, if not truer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
And Jeannie, Brene Brown
Yes.
took that very concept right there and developed into is that your whole story? Is that just your story?
That's right.
And then she goes further, and then how do you know it was your true or your old story? And then so many times it's your old story. But then how would you be if it were true? To honor your old story, but no, this is the truth. And hey, let's go forward.
Right.
But is it true or is it your old story? And then write your new story.
I've read that too, Betty, and that's just as powerful as Katie's work. You're right. Yes.
Expounds on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can speak on this because I haven't been sleeping through the night.
Uh-huh.
I normally sleep great. And I say, the first thought, well, maybe you're nutrient deficient. That's my old story. Maybe you're not getting enough and you can't sleep through the night. But all things are lessons God would have me learn. So I say, okay, how did I ask for this? I prayed for this. And then I learned Yoga Nidra, where it's really great if I stop in the middle of the day and I just take 15 minutes to an hour and not sleep, but
just really rest deeply.
Yes,
yeah.
And recharge in a way that's even better than 6 to 8 hours for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, am I wasting energy by worrying that I'm not sleeping through the night? Is this lesson that God wants to show us we have way more time in the day?
Yes.
So that's how I flipped it.
That's wonderful. That's a good story of a turnaround. Yeah. Well, guys, we live in unprecedented times, and it's going to take unprecedented stuff. This is what starts the anxiety, unprecedented. Boy, we thought that was true in 2020, didn't we, with COVID? And then there's now. But look at all these words that go with that. It's hard, it's strange, it's crazy, it's rough, it's whack, it's turbulent. I mean, just pick your words. But it really is going to take clarity and creativity, I believe, to deal with this. We're facing a whole lot of never happened befores right now. And being creatively out of the box and at the adjacent possible, it's just going to be so important. Now, a third part of the book, and I'm looking at my time, dadgummit, I knew I had too much to say.
Were they supposed to sing again?
I know it, and I'm not, okay, I'm gonna try to wrap up
Oh,
quick.
it's okay. I was
I'm
just
sorry,
That's
okay.
church music.
But anyway, a third part of a book is finding purpose, and that's for next month, which we're intentional living. So don't worry, I'm not going there. And I was, and then now bringing it back to unity teachings, and this comes from the eye of the storm. Life is matter and energy is the circumference. Spirit is the center. At the center, there are harmony, balance, serenity, peace, and wholeness. And at the circumference, there are the yin and the yang, the complementary poles of energy. And so we really can, if we stay at our center, that's the important thing. My centeredness and confidence will reveal choices and options. I can feel my fear and be connected to my center at the same time. And that's why we've got the center and we've got the circumference. And at the center, in the realm of spirit, each of us is connected because there's actually only one spirit. So that's a beautiful place to be in. At my center, I can also experience oneness. To be at the circumference, I am possibly in conflict. You can be in an experience that is normally stressful and then move your attention to your center or to your spirit where the situation can be experienced differently. The shift is everything. So, okay. So, all right, this also came from Brene Brown. This came from The Gifts of Imperfection, and she talks about, can you dig into calm and stillness? So deliberately set an intention to be aware of your anxiety creature, of your signals in your body, then pivot to calm. Commit to times for stillness and consider healthful choices. Be inspired. The words of Emily Cady inspires us Unitics. Katie, this is a long time ago, but it's still true. Find your own secret place, a place of meeting the Christ at the center of your being and consciousness, a hidden place in which no outside person or any event can either induct you or enter himself. The reality of the indwelling Christ, through whom and by whom come life, health, peace, power, and all things. So that's DI. Oh my goodness. We've talked about DEI. Anyway, but the last one is go. So become aware of your patterns of anxiety. Are you an under-functioning anxiety person or an over-functioning one? And if you're over-functioning, you might rescue and micromanage. And if you under-function, you might freeze and let others take over. So that's a useful thing to know about it. Reframe the pattern. Calm over-functioning by embracing vulnerability. Under-functioners can appreciate and amplify their strengths so we can come back into more balance. And there's many practices that we can do. Oh, goodness gracious. There's one other story I wanted to tell. I was doing Nia Dance, and we do it with a South Africa group on Thursdays. And this woman from South Africa was telling about going to the water truck. Now that's something you and I don't know about, but sometimes in rural communities in South Africa, water has to be brought into the community, and they go, it's almost like going to the well and getting the water. And so they all had gone out. It was kind of it'd been a dry month or so. And so they wanted to get the water, and it was a really tense neighborhood moment. You know, everybody was wanting to get their water. I've got to have my water. And there was a mother, and the mother had a baby in a bucket and was trying to get the water, but the baby was crying. And you know, that was kind of, now we've got a group spiral going on. And Estelle said, you know, I said, can I hold the baby? And And so she took the baby and she held it, and she'd been feeling upset and tense, but this sweet, soft baby calmed her down. She calmed the baby down, and the group, the neighborhood, saw the effect, and then the attention shifted away from an idea of lack for water to caring about each other. And that was such a simple act in a group, but it made all the difference. She didn't have to confront anybody and say, "What are you doing? You're being so rude." She did something out of love, and that made all the difference. I do love that story. All right, y'all, I'm going to skip meditation. I had one, but I'm going to read this final scripture and just kind of sit and enjoy it for a minute. And it's scripture, so it's not always unity language, but this is from Philippians. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your wonderings to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Breathe. Whatever you've learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the peace of God will be with you. And the peace that passes all understanding. Well, I think we have time to hear one more song. If y'all can come back and...
I think this song fits the theme in a positive way.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks
best church.
I knew that. So March, the theme is I am intentional, or intentional living, and I'm going to kick it off. And then Becky Whitehead is going to be here the very next week. And she is going to be here in person on March the 9th. And listen, we're all planned into April, but I just don't have it on here. We'll keep you posted. So, and as you know, March 7th and 8th, March 7th is a Friday. It's going to, we're probably going to all go to dinner and then have a short meeting here. And then Saturday, and I can't remember, I think it's 10 to 10, it starts at 10 o'clock, and we're gonna eat here, and we'll wind up whenever we wind up about between 2 and 3 o'clock. So,
What are you saying about Friday night, gonna all go to dinner?
well, no, we're gonna meet here, but people will be invited if they want to go with us to dinner too. So, and I have to find out whether dinner is going to be before or after. I think they put down 6 o'clock for the meeting.
I think so, 6 to 8:30 or something.
Something like that. So, and it's, really the important day is Saturday. But if you want to come, we welcome you on Friday night if you want to get to know Becky better. So, and I'm thanking people. We've been working on the technology and learning more, and people are really stepping up. Gail's been working with hospitality. Just everyone's starting to find the little jobs to do, and everything we do is, you all won't believe how much it helps, because sometimes it feels heavy. I know how to walk in here and make everything happen, but it's really wonderful when we're working together. So, thank you. Yes.
There's 2 little things.
Yes.
Watering the plants, putting the sign up.
Oh, that's right.
If anybody wants to think about those.
Thank you, Angel. And it doesn't take a big thing. Small things. It's cumulative.